Bud Crawford next. Can you just give us a rundown, the date, the location, and why this fight is the biggest fight in boxing, Richard?
Well, you have two pound-for-pound greats. I think Canelo is clearly number one, and then maybe you have Usyk number two, and you have Crawford number three. So you have definitely two of the, let's call it, best pound-for-pound fighters in the world fighting each other. That happens virtually never.
Yeah.
And then you have two undisputed champions on top of that in their respective weight classes fighting each other. That doesn't happen either. Actually, I don't remember. I don't think it ever happened. So that just is an amazing showdown. And I was sitting one seat over from Crawford tonight, and I was telling him, I said, "Man, this Cuban guy is just running." Yeah. He tells me, "Have you ever fought?" I said, "No, I never boxed." He says, "Well, then you don't understand. This is called ring generalship." I said, "No, this is not ring generalship. This is called running." And I hope that Crawford didn't get any ideas from Skull. I don't think he did. I think Crawford is a hell of a fighter, and it's going to be a hell of a fight.
How does weight play a part in that fight?
Oh, what?
How does weight play a part in that fight, do you feel?
Weight?
Weight. The size difference.
Oh, no, I don't think that, that doesn't, like you saw today, the guy was like, I don't know how much taller. It didn't really play into it either. But Crawford is a hell of a fighter, and you saw today when they did the face-off in the ring, they're virtually height-wise, they are virtually the same. Crawford might even be a little bit taller, but when you look at Canelo, the way he's built, his legs, his shoulders, his neck, that is why he's never been hurt. And he's never been hurt fighting fighters at a substantially higher weight, substantially bigger than him, and they still couldn't hurt him.
Yeah.
And then you look at Crawford, who is a smaller guy, is moving up two weight classes, tried at 154, barely won, couldn't hurt Madrimov, and now he's going to go against the guy with the best chin in the sport. That's why probably odds maker have Canelo as a favorite. But having said all of that, Crawford is just a hell of a fighter. I was there when he fought, I was ringside when he fought Spence, and Spence was a hell of a fighter. The way he just totally neutralized Spence's strengths was absolutely, it was breathtaking to watch this. So Crawford is a very skilled fighter, very smart fighter, but again, he's never fought anybody like Canelo. You look at Canelo's resume. Canelo fought, now it's 21 former or current world champions. There's only two fighters in the history of boxing who have more than that. One of them is Floyd Mayweather with 24, and the other one is Manny Pacquiao with 23. And he's the only active fighter who fought so many world champions. So I think experience will play a big factor as well. You look at Canelo's resume, but it is, I think, the biggest fight that can be made. I think it's the biggest fight the sport has seen going back to as long as I can remember. I think it's just simple. And I've done some big fights with Floyd Mayweather, and I did Floyd Mayweather and Canelo.
Of course.
I promoted that, so I think this one is bigger than that. I do believe that experience is going to be playing a big factor in the Crawford fight. I do think size to a certain extent as well, because Crawford moved up to fight Madrimov and was challenged by Madrimov. Some people even felt that Madrimov might have won. Well, I tell you one thing, Canelo is no Madrimov. Canelo has the best chin in boxing, no question about it. Has never been dropped, never been hurt, and it's going to be challenging for Crawford to really hurt Canelo. And so I think it's going to be a fascinating match. It's going to be the biggest fight in modern history. I think I was fortunate to promote back in the day Mayweather and Canelo, and I think this one is going to be substantially bigger.
Do you think that one and obviously the Golovkin fights were huge as well? Do you think this is Canelo's biggest fight today?
That's going to be Canelo's biggest fight. It's going to be the biggest fight in the sport for as long as I can remember. I've been involved since 2000, so 25 years. So I don't remember any fight. No, I think Mayweather Pacquiao. people sort of like hyped it. It was a big success financially. I think this can be equally as big of a success, if not bigger. But I think this is more two fighters truly at their prime. You know, I mean, Canelo still is the best pound-for-pound fighter. There is no question about it. And I just told you why, because he fought all these former world champions. But I'm going to give you another reason. BoxRec came out a couple weeks ago with an interesting list, with a pound-for-pound list, historically, looking at the entire history of the sport. Who are the best pound-for-pound fighters in the history of the entire sport? You see people like Sugar Ray Leonard on there. You see Joe Louis on there. You see Hagler on there. You know, you see Tyson on there. And there's in the top 15 is only one guy who is still active and still fighting, and that one guy is Canelo Alvarez. And you can look up that list. So there's no question about it that pound for pound, Canelo today is the best pound for pound fighter. A lot of people, particularly promoters, are saying to a certain one of their fighters with one good win, they belong into the pound for pound best list. It doesn't work like that. I think the pound for pound list is an accomplishment of a fighter's entire body of work up to that day, up to today. What has he done? And just having one good fight doesn't qualify to be in the pound for pound best list. I think Usyk belongs there. I think Usyk is definitely right there with Canelo. Crawford had a few good wins, but when you look at his wins and you compare them to Canelo wins, I mean, we've got to be honest. You know, again, I don't want to take nothing away from Crawford. He's a hell of a fighter, but Canelo is a different league. I mean, that's just a fact, and that's why I think he has all these fans and these followers, and he's going to continue to make history.
Richard, how does it feel to be working with Canelo again?
Oh, I'm very fortunate. I started with him when he was 17 years old. I've known him since then. Now he is 34 years old. We worked together during the Golden Boy days. Always had an amazing relationship and friendship with him. And then he reached back out. We stayed in touch. We were friends. We called each other. We met each other. And but I sort of like was retired, you know, and I've done my thing in boxing and was happily retired. And then he called me and he said, look, it would be great to have you back. Come and help me with everything. And he's my friend, so I'm very happy to do that. I'm thrilled, excited to be working for him and with him, handling all different aspects. He is truly not only a champion in the ring, but just an amazing human being, a great father, a great husband. You see the friends who come here from all over the world to come and support him. They travel here. He's a great friend. He's just great at everything he does. And he is without any question, the smartest businessman in boxing I have ever met. And we are going to get him over that. He's going to be the first fighter to break the $1 billion net worth. I have zero questions about it.
One last question.
Probably next year.
What can we call you? What's your official job title?
I'm his business manager. Yeah, so I handle the fight negotiations, all these other businesses, everything.
Your thoughts on that card? It's had a lot of traction, a lot of news. I was shocking for a lot of people.
You know, in boxing, it's not the first time that you book a fight before a fight has happened. And that is a dangerous undertaking because it's sort of like, you know, even if they say, oh, I'm not distracted, it does distract. You start already thinking somewhere else. And sometimes it's plain simple, you get caught up as a fighter if you are a 7, 10, 12, 14 to 1 favorite in a fight, and everybody basically thinks this is like, you know, easy. There is no such thing as easy. If you are somebody with a big following like Canelo or like Ryan, you have a target on your back. And the guy who you're gonna fight, you can be sure that he is at the best he can be. And because he knows what that will mean. I mean, look at Rolly. If Rolly would have lost that fight, in his next fight, he might have made, I don't know, a couple $100,000. But now with him winning, he's going to make $4, $5, $6 million. So there is these guys, it motivates them, it makes them hungry, and the other guy was maybe already thinking like to the next fight and underestimating him, and that's what happens. You saw it last December with Jaime Munguia when he was fighting Bruno Zurache in Tijuana, his hometown. He thought it's going to be a homecoming fight, it's going to be an easy fight. Well, it wasn't an easy fight, and he got knocked out, and he set the record straight tonight. But that happens sometimes.
Devin Haney's had a lot of criticism on his performance last night. Devin Haney, what do you make of that? Because you've been around a lot of fighters who have got criticised in big fights. What do you make of that? What do you tell your fighters if they're ever in that position?
Well, when the bright lights shine, sometimes again some of these fighters felt it was a give me, it was like a layup, and it was already talking about the rematch of the next fight, and they get distracted, and it's the same with Devin Haney. I mean, and the atmosphere there, being part of such a historic event, all that maybe adds to the distraction factor, and I think that's probably why the fights didn't really live up to the hype, because the venue and the setting certainly did.